Tom, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing? What are you up to?
I'm doing well, thanks. I just got back from a sparring session. Managed to get 6 5s in today, so feeling pretty tired at the moment, but I'm good.
Nice. And you've got your UFC debut booked for Fight Island July 25th. How excited are you to be finally making your UFC debut?
I am excited, I'm very excited. I'm just happy that it's finally come around because I was a week out from a little bit cancelled. So I'm just happy to be happy and grateful to be earning a living in this crazy time.
Yeah, definitely. And talk a little bit about that time. Obviously, I think you signed back in, was it last October with the UFC?
I'm not sure what month it was. I signed like 2 days after my last fight, or the day after my last fight. So I think that was September, and then it got announced like later on. So yeah, I'm not sure what month it was, to be honest. And then I was supposed to debut in February in the UFC London, and that got cancelled. So here we are, a long time later. But what can you do?
Yeah, and how disappointing was that obviously for UFC? I know obviously it was out of our control because of the coronavirus, but you'd been building up for that moment. How disappointing was that for you to not be able to make your debut in London?
It was just, to be honest with you, I didn't have the best training camp for that. So this camp is going to be much better. Um, if you want me to be honest with you, it was an awful training camp, the last one. So um, it wasn't like I was relieved that it was cancelled because obviously I wanted to fight. I wanted to go out there in front of the crowd, and I had a lot of people going down there and stuff. But um, things didn't go very smoothly in the training camp. So this one is going much better so far.
Why do you think that was? Can you put your finger on why it didn't go so well that time?
A lot of different reasons, I think. Just a lot like an accumulation of stuff. I had a couple of injuries that I was dealing with, and then I messed my diet up big time, and I wasn't having enough calories. I had like no energy when I was training, and don't get me wrong, I would have still gone in there. I would have still fought. I would have still won, but I just wasn't at my best. I feel, and now I'm in a much better place. I think
Yes, you've had this extra time to prepare, get yourself ready. How have you been utilizing that time?
just by training, basically. I've been doing a lot of stuff, training. That's it, basically training and just getting my mind right. When stuff like that happens, it just gives you a lot of time to think. You know what I mean? I've been thinking a lot. I do me a lot of breathing exercises and stuff without sounding too weird. I don't want to go into that too much, but do a lot of different breathing exercises, a lot of visualization stuff, and yeah, I just feel good. Feel good right now. Feel good.
That's good. So, when all the talks started to come about Fight Island and Dana White being able to fly international fighters over to this Fight Island, what was your initial reaction when you heard that?
I just thought, get me on the island. I mean, he was making it out, weren't he, that it was going to be like some kind of private island and stuff, and he's going to buy his own island and stuff. To be honest, I never believed any of that anyway. I thought we might end up fighting in Vegas, to be honest. I thought that's what we were going to end up doing. But I wasn't too bothered either way. Just get me a fight. And now they're saying it's going to be in the middle of the night and people are making it. I'm not bothered. Just get me a fight and I'll just turn up and fight. It doesn't really matter to me where it is or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not really bothered.
And you're going to be sharing the event with obviously your teammates, Mike Grundy and Darren Tiller's going to be headlining against Robert Whittaker. What does it mean to be able to make your UFC debut on the same card as your teammates?
Yeah, it's good. I don't think we've all fought on the same show since we were amateurs. I don't think so. That's pretty good. I think it's going to be enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? We're all training together, obviously, and good vibe in the gym. It's going to be a good vibe there. Even if we're not fighting on the same card, we're all at each other's fights anyway. Anyway, it's going to be good. We're going to take over the island, I think.
And what kind of role has Mike and Darren played in your camp? Have they given you any advice going into this one?
Yeah, they give me bits of advice. Mike's my wrestling coach, so obviously he has input in my training with my wrestling and stuff. Till. I do a lot of sparring with Till, even though I'm quite a bit bigger than him. But they're both massive roles in my camp. You know what I mean? I train them both every single day. So they just have roles as teammates. They give me a little bit of advice and stuff on how to deal with the. Basically, their advice has been, look, there is no difference between fighting in the UFC and fighting on another show. So just treat it like another fight, and that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. Do you feel any pressure going into this? Obviously, it's quite an iconic moment in time for the UFC. Having a Fight Island, it's something that they haven't done before. A lot of people are obviously going to be watching. Do you feel any pressure making your debut on such a big stage?
No, I don't really consider that kind of stuff, to be honest. It's fighting on Fight Island, whether it's going to be fighting in Vegas, whether it's going to be fighting in a back garden, whether it's going to be fighting in a pub car park. It's just a fight with another guy. You know what I mean? All that exterior stuff doesn't really come into play with me. I just try and think about like the act. The environment changes. There's different things around. I fight every day in the gym. It's no different.
Yeah, and luckily enough for you, you've kept the same opponent, haven't you? A lot of people have had to change maybe like two or three opponents because of the circumstances at the moment. How, are you quite happy that you've kept this match up with Jake Collier?
Yeah, I'm happy with it. I think he's a good opponent. I think this is his seventh UFC fight, and it's only my ninth fight, ninth pro fight or 10th pro fight, I think. So he's a lot more experienced than I am. So it's good to be fighting a veteran. Like I say, it's nice really because I've not had to change really much about my training. It's not like I'm fighting someone with a completely different style. I'm fighting the same guy, so that is nice.
Yeah, have you been working on anything in particular in terms of preparing for him, or have things kind of stayed mainly the same?
No, I've been working on. He does a few stuff that we picked up on, and we're trying to work on that a little bit. But I'm just trying to focus on myself, really. Do you know what I mean? I spent a lot of time through my career. Is what I usually do is I focus on the other opponent too much, and then um, end up just thinking about what they're doing. But I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing as opposed to what he's doing so much. So don't get me wrong. I've got my coaches working into game plans and stuff in the training of what he's going to do. But I'm just trying to focus on what I'm going to do, really, and trying to get myself right for it.
Yeah, well, where do you see yourselves having? I mean, the thing is, I mean, he's hasn't fought since I think 2017, so he's had quite a big long layoff. What do you think you can expect to see from him because of that?
Well, that's the thing. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I mean, he was originally a middleweight, as far as I'm aware, and then I think he moved up to light heavy. Um, I think he failed a drug test or something like that. I don't know. I've not looked into it too much, and then he's had a few years off. So who knows? A lot can change in like 3 years. Come back completely different. So who knows what to expect from him? I have no idea, but we're going to find out.
And apart from you being the more active fighter, what kind of strengths or advantages do you think you're going to have in the fight?
Um, Again, it's hard to say until we're getting there. I don't know. It's all well and good watching someone from far away. I've watched opponents before and thought that they're not very good, and then they get in, clip me with a few shots, and I've watched opponents as well, and they're not as good as I thought. So it's very hard to say just from watching, I think. But I think for me personally, even though he's actually a lighter guy, I'm still going to have. I think I'm always going to have a speed advantage on all of my opponents, to be honest. So I've always got that speed and footwork in my favour against any heavyweight, I think.
Yeah, and were you thinking about obviously the atmosphere over in Abu Dhabi? Obviously, you've got to take in consideration different factors that you wouldn't normally have to, like heat, humidity. There's going to be no crowd. It's going to be a very different atmosphere. What are you expecting, and have you thought much about that?
I've not thought too much about it, to be honest. To me, it doesn't really make a difference if there's a crowd there or not. I've had plenty of fights that there's no one there before. You know what I mean? It doesn't make a difference to me. And the heat, I'm hoping that's not a problem. I'm hoping they're going to be. I think they're going to be. Obviously, you can't. As far as I'm aware, it's like 40 odd degrees. Can't be outdoor. someone will die, which is not good. Hopefully that won't be me. But I think going to be it's going to be somewhere air conditioned, isn't it? So hopefully that won't make. I mean, the humidity, even if it's air conditioned, it will be a difference. So hopefully when we're there, we're going to train as much as we can and try and like get used to it a little bit, I think.
Yeah. So how do you see this fight going down in your head? How do you see it playing out?
Uh, I think I'm going to knock him out. I've got some serious, dangerous power in my hands, and I think if I hit anybody clean, I think they're going to sleep, and I've got 15 minutes to do it.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing your fight July 25th. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to speak to me. And wish you the best of luck.
Appreciate it.
Okay,